JJ McCarthy has only played 6 games in the NFL, but it already looks like his career may be over sooner rather than later. Coming into the NFL, McCarthy was a very polarizing prospect. The NFL liked him as the Vikings spent a top 10 pick on him, but college football fans were concerned about his limited usage during his time at Michigan, and they were very vocal about this. We are almost 2 years into McCarthy's NFL career, and things are looking bleak. A redshirt rookie season plus some injuries have kept him from getting a ton of snaps, but when he has been on the field and he's gotten playing time, the results have been underwhelming. Today, we're going to dive into the numbers and see why McCarthy has been struggling so much, and whether or not he has what it takes to become a quality NFL starter. The first thing I want to discuss in this video is JJ McCarthy's aggression as a passer, because this is one of his best traits, but it's also something that gets him in trouble a lot. Aggressiveness is actually something good for quarterbacks to have. Being able to push the ball down the field is a good trait that allows you to put pressure on defenses. It allows quarterbacks to stretch defenses down the field, and that opens up the rest of the field. It opens up intermediate passes. It forces defenses to adjust to cover the deep parts of the field, allowing offenses to take advantage of short passing routes. And so it's great to see that JJ McCarthy is already one of the more aggressive passers in the league. His average depth of target of 10.1 yards leads the league, and he currently ranks 3rd in the NFL in big time throw rate, with a mark of 6.4%. And that is very impressive for a young quarterback. McCarthy has good physical tools. He's got a good arm, and he's able to fit the ball into tight windows and generate big time throws at a high rate. But at the moment, he's actually not that good of a deep ball thrower. This season, he is just 5 for 22 on deep balls for 1 touchdown and 5 interceptions. That's pretty poor production as a deep ball thrower. On top of this, 50% of his turnover-worthy plays have come on deep throws. Listen, I love that McCarthy is being aggressive and is willing to push the ball down the field. I would be really concerned if he was super conservative and was afraid to make mistakes and didn't want to push the ball down the field or attack tight windows. But you also, if you're going to be throwing the ball deep a lot, you have to be effective as a deep ball thrower. You can't be throwing deep or attacking tight windows just to do it. You've got to be really effective on these type of throws to be an efficient quarterback. And McCarthy just isn't effective as a deep ball thrower at the moment. He's got to improve a lot in this area. The next thing I want to discuss is McCarthy's decision making. And with this, I'm referring to his tendency to turn the ball over, put the ball in harm's way, and take sacks. Honestly, I don't think it's a stretch to say that JJ McCarthy is the worst decision maker of any starter in the NFL right now. He currently ranks 39th in turnover-worthy play rate with a mark of 5.9%, and he has 6 touchdowns to 10 interceptions. That touchdown to interception ratio is awful. He's putting the ball in harm's way a lot, and that on its own is a major issue that's going to affect his ability to be an efficient quarterback on its own. But he's also taking sacks at a very high rate. For example, he currently has a pressure to sack rate of 25.3%, which ranks 39th in the NFL. And on top of this, he's holding onto the ball forever, with an average time to throw of 3.09, which ranks 36th. He holds onto the ball for a long time on a lot of his pass attempts. For example, he holds the ball over 2.5 seconds for 55% of his pass attempts. That's a lot. All of this combined is a recipe for disaster. He's putting the ball in harm's way when he throws the ball, he's taking a ton of sacks in the pocket when he's pressured, and in general, he just holds onto the ball for a long time. This is why his efficiency metrics are so bad across the board. Now, I will say, his holding the ball forever may have something to do with Kevin O'Connell's offense and the way that it's structured, as the Vikings heavily use shotgun formations, they don't run a ton of play-action plays, and they don't run many RPOs. They are putting a lot on JJ McCarthy's plate, and he's a very young player. Still, I don't think that excuses his, tendency to turn the ball over, how often he puts the ball in harm's way, and his tendency to take sacks when he's pressured. Those things are inexcusable. The last thing I want to touch on in this video is JJ McCarthy's inability to be effective on third downs and when he has to extend plays. I think looking at how quarterbacks perform on third downs and when they have to extend plays is important, and these things are indicative of a quarterback's ceiling, their upside, because a lot of the top quarterbacks in the league excel in these areas. And these areas are some of McCarthy's biggest weaknesses at the moment. Let's look at how McCarthy is performing on third downs this season. On these downs, he's completing just 38.6% of his passes. He has 1 touchdown to 4 interceptions. He has taken 9 sacks. He has a passer rating of just 28.5, which is really bad. And this might be the most concerning stat of all here, he is averaging negative .484 EPA per play on third downs alone. That is some pretty horrific production on third downs. On top of this, I want to take a look at his numbers on plays longer than 2.5 seconds, because he struggles mightily in this area as well, with a completion percentage of 48.9%. He's got 4 touchdowns to 9 interceptions. He has taken 14 sacks, and he has a passer rating of 41.9. He just hasn't been very effective on third downs or when plays take over 2.5 seconds. The fact that McCarthy struggles to protect the ball and take sacks is one thing, and I think that limits his floor. But the fact that he's also struggling on third downs and he's not effective when extending plays, that limits his ceiling. So though all of these things combined paints a really, really bad picture of JJ McCarthy's game. I'll be honest, I was a huge JJ McCarthy fan during his draft, and I thought he was underrated as a prospect. His usage at Michigan was underwhelming, but he had a lot of great traits. He protected the football, he had a really good pocket presence, he was mobile, he had a big arm, he was really good as an intermediate passer, and I thought all of these things made him a really good prospect, especially considering his age. However, I cannot ignore how disappointing his performance has been this season. To be fair, he has only played 6 games, and he has dealt with some injuries. Still, his production is so bad that it will be hard for the Vikings to be patient with his development. If you look at his advanced stats, like his EPA per play and his PFF grade, they line up with some of the biggest busts we've seen in the modern NFL, and it makes me just not very optimistic about his future. I hope McCarthy improves a lot. I'm rooting for him, but it's not looking good so far. I'll be interested to see where he goes from here, but man, I'm pretty pessimistic at the moment.